Hey there, internet world. Let me see. I'm gonna move this here a little bit and adjust. It's a Coach Garfield. Man, I love doing this. Yeah, so I just wanted to jump on really quickly, and I wanted to talk about. Well, here's kind of what happened. I was downtown. A friend of mine, he owns a couple of restaurants downtown Vancouver, and I was just in there the other day, and then he was saying, he was just like, he was kind of being sarcastic about it, I guess, because he came in and he had to do a bunch of things to kind of get the place ready, and these were things that his employees were supposed to have done, and he was kind of joking. He was like, yeah, you know what, I've got real good employees, Garfield, I got really good employees, it's like, they take pride in what they do, and it kind of stuck to me, and it was like something went off, and I was like, yeah, because he was being sarcastic, like, he was just saying, like, they don't take pride in what they do, right? So, yeah, that's kind of what he was saying, and so I was like, oh, it just stuck with me, and I was just thinking about like little things, like, about taking pride in what you do. So, from a coaching perspective, or even just from, even as an athlete or a young person, or if you, you've got young people around you that you're influencing, one of the big things that I would say, I'm gonna take these glasses off, man. Man, I hate wearing glasses. I don't know about some of you glasses wear, but I hate them. It's like, I don't think it's making my eyes any better. I think it's making it worse. But yeah, anyway, so, it's the thing is, it's about taking pride in what you do, right? And I heard a mentor of mine say that, something as simple as, like, nowadays kids call it flipping burgers. His parents call it opportunity. And so what he was trying to say is that, it's all about taking pride in what you do and being the best of what you do. And I remember, like, a quick story about one of my former athletes, and so I don't know how many times did he win the nationals, something like 13 or 14 time national champion, but I remember when he was coming through, and one of the things that we had talked about was, I showed him, like, hey man, like, you go out on the mat, you just kind of toss your stuff all over the place, and that doesn't really kind of do it, right? It's just what does that say for you as a person? And I remember being in Panama, and when Panama, the Pan American Championships, and like, he cleaned house at that Pan American Championships, but that wasn't the thing that I was proud of him about. What I was proud of, I just remember seeing him going out, and it clicked on my head, like, wow, like, I remember looking down at the mat, and he had folded up all his clothes. Like, I don't know if you know the world of wrestling, but, usually you kind of, you kind of change before you go on the mat, or whatever. You got your singlet on and whatnot. You put your clothes kind of, wherever. A lot of people just kind of toss them to the coach or whatever. But he had folded his clothes in a nice, neat pile. Like, just nicely, neatly folded everything up, his shirt, his pants, and just put it there nice and neat at the end of the edge of the mat. And that's when, in my mind, I was like, this guy's gonna rock out, man, because like that like he just folded it nice and neat, and he had never done that before, and that was the change that I saw in him, that he had just done that. And so, what does that have to do with this whole entire thing? Well, it's the idea is there, if you're a young person, you're watching this, take pride in everything that you do, man. Take pride in everything you do. One of my mentors that I follow, is very, very successful business owner, and so one of the things that he says is that, like, basically anything that you do, like, it's it will shadow everything that you do, right? So if you do something, one little thing sloppy, you'll find that it'll become a habit in your life, that you'll end up doing things that that are sloppy all the time. And I think it's one of the things that are lost, like, the idea of that anything that you do, take pride in it, right? Take pride in it. If your life is, I don't know why we use the example of a garbage man, like, be the best at a garbage man that you can be, right? If you're anything that you're asked to do, be the best at it. Like, it doesn't mean that you're going to be the best at it, but do it to your best of your abilities, because anything that you do, like, will reflect in everything that you do. So make it a habit to be and I think that's one of the things that, even, from a parental perspective, is that to teach our young people, like, like do it to the best of your absolute possibility. Do it, just do it to the best if you can. Be the best of what you do. Strive to be the best. Like, take pride in anything that you do reflects on you. So take pride in everything that you do. If you got to dress, take pride in it. And even, I see like schools and everything talking about like, dress codes and things like that. It's like, it goes back to the idea of having that long-term plan. And that's part of what I've taught for the long time is that, to my athletes is that, like, see yourself further than just today. See yourself further than just where you are right now. If you're in, like, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th, whatever it is, you're in high school or college, see yourself a lot further than that. See yourself a little bit bigger than that. Have a bigger plan than that. And take pride in every little thing that you do so that it reflects in a long term. So if I have one of my students, former students, he was, one of the things that he was talking about wanting to be a pilot. And you can imagine, right? You're going to be a pilot. So, well, act like it right now. So if you're an athlete or if you're a parent, like, sit down with your kids and start to figure out, like, that long-term plan. Sit down with them. Okay, what are you going to be at when you're 50 years old? Okay, I'm going to be, whatever. I'm going to be an engineer. Okay, well, why don't you just, make yourself the best engineer that you can possibly be, right? It doesn't mean that you're going to be the best out of, whatever, a million people. It doesn't have to be it. You don't have to be number one, but the best that you can possibly give. The next 24 hours, like, be the best that you can possibly be over the next 24 hours. The next 30 years. What do you, when you're 30 years old, what, even if you're watching this as an adult right now, you can start this. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Just young people. You can use this as well too. I'm 30 years old. Okay, well, where do you see yourself when you're 40 years old? Or I'm 20. Where do you see yourself when you're 30 years old? Like, what type of person are you going to be? What are you going to be doing then? Like, start to kind of really edge that plan out and say, okay, well, why do I have to wait? If you're 13 or 14 years old, why do I have to wait till I'm 30 to start acting like that person? Right? You can start acting like it now. If you see yourself, I'm going to be dressing sharp, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing, well, start being that person right now and take pride in everything that you do. If there's a list of 10 things that you have to do 10 and do it 10 out of 10, right? If another person comes on and their 10 out of 10 is better than your 10 out of 10, that's fine. That's what they can do. If this is all your 10 out of 10 can be, we'll get to your 10 out of 10, right? And so if you're feeling sick that day, well, then, give it the best you can be. Give it the 10 out of 10, based on what you can possibly give that particular time, and take pride in everything that you do, because, how you do anything is how you do everything. That's what Mr. Buggs was saying, Holton Buggs. That's what he was saying. How you do anything is how you do everything. So teach your kids, like, that how you do anything is how you do everything. Like, really start to push it into them, right? And so as parents, what we got to do, and as young people, as athletes, what we got to do is we got to hold ourselves accountable to everything. So when you get up in the morning, say, okay, I got 24 hours, how am I going to do this? Well, I mean, I guess it won't be 24 hours, but you know what I mean? Like, this is how I'm going to do this right now. Get out there. People ask you, here's one of the things that I learned, and it's funny when people hear me say it, they say, how are you feeling today? And I always say, I'm incredible. I'm feeling incredible. And people are like, wow, that's another day. And I always say to people, listen, like, it's my choice how I'm feeling. So I'm going to feel incredible. And so take pride in everything that you do, and teach. And it's one of the things we got to do. We got to teach your kids to take pride in everything that they do, everything. And it doesn't matter what it is. And you know what? Don't let them off the hook. As a coach, like I said, for over the last 20 years, and one of the reasons why I'm putting together this program is because I worked in the school systems, right? And so I worked in the school system, and I see a lot of these kids. They don't take pride in what they do. Not everyone, but it's like this thing, right? They don't take pride in what they do, and it doesn't translate into confidence. And what do you need in this world, right? Do you need A+ on every paper? No, you need confidence more than anything else. If you're not confident, like, you're whooped. If you don't have confidence, you're whooped. So take pride in everything that you do, and that will automatically build a little confidence, day by day, little by little, until all of a sudden you are that person that you need to be to perform. If you're an athlete, remember that, like, and I was always harping on athletes because my athletes, because I'd ask them to do, like, for example, okay, go do 20 push-ups, and so okay, 3 would be good, and then 17 sloppy, and okay, great, you just taught yourself 17 times over how to be a loser. But what if you did that to the best of your possible? If you got to break 90 degrees, break 90 degrees, Like, no excuses. Break 90 degrees. And that little by little, I mean, it might be just 20, but yeah, like, I can do 20 push-ups. It's not a big deal. Well, then when you cut corners, that chips away your confidence. So teach, like I said, don't let your kids off the hook. Make sure that they're doing 10 out of 10 all the time. And don't be afraid. So I know this is a thing that with a lot of parents, you're afraid that your kids are going to be mad at you and they're going to develop a hate for you. No, that's not going to be the case. All right? Don't let them off the hook, because at one particular point, what you teach them is going to be ingrained into them, that at one point it's going to be damn near impossible to reverse it. So, if you've got a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old, 12-year-old, like, those are the times that you got to be on them. You've got to be on them to make sure that what you teach them sticks. Because if you're teaching them to be, okay, it's okay to get away with being a 6 out of 10 today. Well, you just taught them how to be a 6 out of 10. No, be a 10 out of 10 all the time. Take pride in everything that you do. And so if you you like these videos, you find that they're valuable, you're getting valuable information, like, share, share the video, send it to other people. And as we're moving along, like I said, we're putting the academy together, right? And so, definitely looking for cadets, looking forward to working with a lot of cadets, because I believe that the program that we have had for the last almost 2 decades now, and it's created incredible amount of results with young men and women. I know I said I'm particularly targeting the young men, in our community. And it's for anybody. Whether you're 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 20 years old, whatever it is a program, and it's targeted towards young people. But anyone can use the program. And you have questions about, especially when it comes on to developing athletes, young people. It doesn't have to be athletes, just young people. And if you have questions and you want to ask, you're not too sure, because I know, even as a parent, I'm not too sure, like, who am I gonna, how to ask about these questions. I'll be glad, because not only have I worked as a coach at all levels in this country, but I've also worked in the school system as well. And so that's what I am. I work in behavior, right? That's kind of what I do. I've always wanted to work with the bad kids. That was my thing. Maybe I was a bad kid at one point. I don't. Who knows? But yeah, if you have any questions, you can always email me. That's Garfieldgairy, Garfield, Gary @gmail.com. Send me a message. If it's on Facebook, you can always send me a message. Direct message me. And then yeah, I'll definitely answer any of the questions that you have. On that note, a former friend of mine. Sorry, Pat. I forgot your. The program that you just launched is it's a tech program, and I just went to your page and I just liked on it. Congrats. I know over the little bit I followed a little bit of what your son's been doing, and I went onto your page and I was just reading all the different things that you guys have accomplished together, and now it seems that you guys are in a partnership. So congrats. Great example. Hey man, actually, I'm gonna message you and just say, hey, you know what, you can definitely post your information on my page, and I'll definitely share that for you, man, because that's especially from one black father to the next. You're always looked up to you. I've always looked up to you ever since high school. I've always admired you, your work ethic. I remember the one morning I was actually walking on the hall. It was early in the morning, and was Mr. Jenkins was coming out of it was in the Fenton building. It was early in the morning. I think I was getting ready for either something to do with wrestling, because I don't know why else I'd be there early in the morning, like 7 something in the morning. And then you were actually in that weight room already working out. And I think that, I don't know if they'd given you the key or whatever the deal. But you had always been a great example for me. So the fact that you started that program, it's phenomenal. I know that my son is a little bit young. But anyway, yeah, I know that my son's a little bit young for that program, but yeah, definitely go on my page and you can share whatever information you want on my page, and I will share that as well too. Okay? All right. Anyway, that's it for now. Once again, take pride in everything that you do. Teach your kids. Take pride in everything that you do. All right. Bye for now.